Look who decided to enter stage left just as I was pressing play. I hope the neighbor's dogs don't get picked up on these mics very well. Let's test the quality of these. Thursday, we are here. Better. Tuesday, I rushed home. Before I'd even showered and washed the day off, I sat down and pressed play. And so today, I was like, no, I need to come in, sit for a minute, and then we can discuss. Discuss? Have tea. So hey, we made it. It's Thursday. It's probably going to be a short one again. I've had sessions since 7:30 and yeah, my brain is fried. It's been a long day. But again, another day on the gym floor. Got a couple of client things to do this evening. Managed to fit in one of my online client calls in between some of my sessions at the gym today, which was awesome. Haven't spoken to her in a while, so that was really nice. Yeah, been catching up with a lot of my one-on-one clients recently. Summer, huh? It's when things start to shift and change and feel like you're coming out of these different cycles and phases. We got Lady Grey today. I love that he's just going to sit right there. He's going to back up into me just now. He already finished his dinner. Already. He'd gone away. It was only just as I was pressing play. He's like, I want to be in it. Thinking. Oi, come. Yes. You're going to stare at me. Now you're in the way completely. Come, look, say hi to everybody. Come. Come. Yeah. Hey, all. I don't know if I was a friend. So many nice colours. He's got really nice, like, it looks like not a necklace, but like he's wearing a big gown on the front. It's like a little mane, a little lion's mane. Huh? Handsome dog. Right, come. Come sit here. Come. Assume the position for filming. Come. Quick. We're wasting valuable time. No, don't stand in front of me. Come, sit down. Move. Chill. Good. Oh, all right. There we go. Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I actually had a couple of my clients cancel because of sickness spreading around, so that's good. I've got a day at home, catching up on all my online things. And then Saturday I'll be back in. This weather out here is nuts. Rain. I forget how much Hong Kong is an outdoor city. Even though we get hot summers, like when it's raining like this, it's really not nice to be stuck inside the whole time. Not saying that we have a lot of parks and fresh air and all of that, but we definitely don't like to stay cooped up in the apartments all day or a day indefinitely. So yeah, the rain's getting a little bit. And it always makes me realize as well how much I do miss the sun and how much the weather affects my moods and everything. I think it was when I went to study in university in the UK, I remember hearing about the sad seasonal affective disorder, and then it was only when I got there that I was like, oh, yush, that is a thing. That is a real thing. I think we talked about this the other day. Environments on The Sims. I definitely brought that up. Woo! Look at my brain going, yay! To be fair, I think that's also the point of all this content stuff, isn't it? How do you say one thing 1,000 different ways? Because more often than not, we've usually heard the message. We've probably heard it from the people closest to us. Yet, we take it from strangers online instead of, friends and family. I remember it was a couple of years back when me and my husband were still just dating, and we were having a braai upstairs on the roof with our neighbors, and then he made a comment about, family and friends, like, they don't listen to you. Like, they really don't. And it just made me laugh because I like to think sometimes that I try and listen, and then I like to think other times that I'm realizing maybe I'm getting annoyed if friends or family aren't listening to me. And then I kind of just sit back and realize that it's like that, I guess, that parent dynamic, and there's certain things that your parents, I guess I'm only zooming out of this dynamic a bit more now because I see some of my friends have their kids and have them grow up, and I've realized that there will be certain things that just because of the nature of you being in that relationship, you won't listen to certain things that they say. Even if they say the right thing, even if it's the correct advice, You know, more often than not, your parents have told you some very wise words. Whether they lived that through their example or not is a whole nother thing. But we're quite good at giving advice, but we're not always good at taking it from certain people. It's like sometimes you'll read however many books, and it takes to a certain point or a certain writer to say it in a specific way that then it suddenly sort of clicks and sinks in. But somebody around you could have turned around and go, "Oh, I was telling you that the whole time." It's like, yeah, maybe you were, but for some reason, the information wasn't getting through that filter. And I think that's where, especially when you're looking for mentors and coaches, you really have to find that line of who you're listening to is somebody that you respect and that you will take that advice from. Because it's very easy to jump into some of these containers or do some of these things and then go, okay, well, I won't listen to this person because I have XYZ excuses. And I think that's why a lot more you'll hear online, people are saying, find, and again, you'd think this was more common sense than it really is, but find the coaches and find the mentors who have proof repeatedly that they have done what you are looking to do. Even if it's just a certain element, even if you're not able to find as much of a crossover with all things as you want, but find the people that have done what you are looking to do. You know, and find somebody that you respect, that you aren't able to override in that sense. Somebody that you will turn around and go, no, I will listen, I will learn, I will be the student, I will execute, I will ask, I will show up because they are bringing out the best in me and I know they've done it before and I know they have repeatable patterns. Trust the process. I'm realizing this a lot more now with onboarding my clients at the gym, and some of them don't care about the metrics, some of them want to know all the data stats and all the data points, and so much of the conversations that I've been having even over the last couple of weeks is like, well, you're here, the goal is here, this is the plan, this is the program, let's execute it as best we can for phase 1. At that point, we'll see where we are. But at the end of the day, especially with fitness and especially if your goal is weight loss, it's calories in, calories out. Are you burning more than you are consuming on enough of a consistent basis that that weight can go down? And like I've said to my clients as well, it's one of those things where if you look at the numbers, detach yourself from it being an attack on your identity and just remind yourself that the process works if you work it. That's the biggest thing. You have to show up. You have to be present. You have to do the reps. You have to come in. You have to count the calories if you want to be losing weight. Again, I've said this in one of the other episodes, but I remember the first time I did this type of like transformation program. It's one of those ultimate performance, UP style, like shredded in 8 to 12 weeks. Like it's quite an aggressive training and calorie deficit program for weight loss and conditioning and, getting your body composition to a place where you're feeling like you've made a dent, right? And I remember the first time realizing why I was getting so frustrated with not losing weight. Because I was doing all the right things parts of the week, and then on the weekend I would completely fuck it up by overeating. Or I thought I was training more, and then not realizing where I was actually drinking a lot of my calories. I was ending up, because at the time he just chewed and spat out a rather large mosquito. That's hilarious. Lincoln. Where was I? Give me 1 second. When I was working at the agency, my blood was fueled by coffee, but I'm a latte person. Yes, I can have black coffee. Well, I prefer with milk. I don't like black coffee. I tried. I tried for the whole less calories thing and more clean caffeine, and I was like, I don't like it. And I drink coffee because I enjoy it too, not just for the caffeine boost. But then that's also a problem because I was drinking a lot because I enjoyed caffeine. And then, not caffeine, sorry, coffee. And then the caffeine was coursing through my system and I was building up my tolerance and then not realizing that the baseline had kind of risen. And yeah, those are fun caffeine detoxes. Anyway, it was when I'd started to input into my Fitness Pal the lattes that I was having. And obviously that's full milk, right? So that's quite a lot of calories that accumulate throughout the day. And it just kind of pinged in my brain. I was like, oh, light bulb. That's why I've not been losing weight. That's why I've not been hitting my goals. I'm sitting there. And it just, that sort of visual, I mean, you imagine seeing that in a movie, right? And you sort of take a step back and you're like, oh, duh. And so it's like trying to almost zoom out enough and see where are you doing like duh things in your life and in your business that kind of when you look at it you're like, yeah, maybe that's not the best way to do it, or maybe that's kind of going against all the goals that you've been setting to do. Yeah, I don't know. I just find it funny how we refuse to trust the process, or we refuse to allow it to be simple. You know, it's amazing how we can overcomplicate everything. But it's been really fun this last week, actually. I had two of my ladies, they're both ticking over their first month now together on the gym floor. And one of them came in the other day and said, I think my scales are broken. And I was like, why? She's like, because it's going down. And I was like, yes, it's supposed to be going down. And then the other one came in the other day. She's a mum of two as well. And she was like, the scales moved for the first time in over a year or whatever. They've like started to move down. She's like, and I saw a faint ab line. I was like, yay. Ah. And it just, again, reminds me, you know, when you decide, when you make a decision, when you execute, let go of the outcome and just focus on the execution and remind yourself things take time. But if you don't start now and don't pick up that momentum, you are always in this constant start again, start again, start again cycle. And when you're not able to learn how to wrap your head around 6 weeks, 8 weeks of blocks of training or phases, I don't know, it's so easy for the whole year to disappear. I mean, we're already halfway through July, and I know obviously as you get older, the years start to speed up, and proportionate to how much you've lived versus, you know, they start to speed up. Like, there's a reason they feel like they start to speed up as well. But it's amazing how it can feel like 6 weeks of doing something or 6 months of, you know, stripping everything back and saying no to everything that doesn't make sense for you right now, that isn't bringing you towards the goals that you say that you want. Literally just spending a 6-month block from now till the end of the year going, I am unavailable for anything that doesn't either fuel me, grow my business, grow my network, or move me closer to those goals. Everything else is a no. I think that's where, I can't remember whose framework or rule it was or where I saw this, but I've seen it from multiple creators and online coaches and things like that. But it's that creating almost like your yes no's, like your value system. You know, it's like having those three things. Does it, it's that, isn't it? It is that. It's like, does it bring me closer to my goal? Is it energy fueling, not energy draining? Is it, can't remember, but it's like pick three things that like you run your, any opportunity that comes in, you run it through these three things. And it's like, if it doesn't move you towards your goal, or if it's not something that completely excites you to build for your portfolio, or if it's, you know, then it's a no. But if it ticks all three, it's a hell yes. If it ticks like one or two, then no. Like, it has to tick all three for it to be able to come into, I'm butchering this a little bit, but let's see. Maybe I'll have a look at it and we can talk about this in tomorrow's episode. But I know it's like my sister has that with her composing and stuff. It's like she has three categories. It has to either do one of three things, or it has to do three of three things, or at least two of three things in order for her to even consider it. And if it doesn't tick all those three boxes in terms of building the portfolio, the correct amount of income for the time that she's doing it, or why am I getting stuck on a third one every time? Why am I not finding a third one? Anyway, even if there's just two, whatever it is, it's like create a little like checkbox system that kind of helps you make decisions quickly. And if it doesn't tick all of those three, it's a no. so that decisions get to be made a lot easier. And I think that also takes out some of that mental fatigue that we can sometimes feel when you're getting overwhelmed or overthinking, and it's because you're still stuck in this place of future casting or past remembering and putting all this pressure onto your stuff, and you've removed yourself from this present moment. And it just makes you get a little bit worried again about the 2 steps ahead or the 3 steps behind that you actually have no more control over. And it pulls you out of this present moment and makes you feel like, I don't know. I don't even know if this thought's now merging into something else. It almost feels like it is. I'm going to take a sip of my tea and see where we go with this. Bear with me. Three things. Like, find 3 things. I will figure this out. We can talk about it tomorrow, maybe. I'll have a look after I've finished filming. But yeah, it's that. It's like run it through a filter. And if it doesn't tick the right boxes, it's just a no. And it also, these can change. Like, that doesn't have to be forever. I think that's the biggest thing. So much of everything that we learn or everything that we've grown up to be, grown up to learn. It's like it's all this finite stuff. It's like you have to pick one career, one niche, one thing you're interested in. Go all in on and it's almost like you've got this daunting feeling in your head that the reason why you're sort of waiting to pick something is because you don't feel like you'll know if you'll be able to do it forever or not. And I remember getting to a point where I just had to take forever off the table. And it's like, it doesn't matter if this ends. It doesn't matter if it ends in a week, 6 weeks, 8, like, pick something, give it your all, give it a time period of 6 to 8 weeks. At the end of that, reassess. Do you still enjoy it? Do you not enjoy it? Did it fit with everything else? Is it something that you want to continue? Does it have legs? Is it finding something? But I think that, I know I felt like I couldn't whole ass things because I was almost hedging. I was like, okay, but what if I whole ass and do all this stuff over here and then it's not what I want to do, and then I feel like I have to start again, or I feel like I have to then do something else. And then I realized eventually, I was like, but by hedging and half doing it, it wasn't working anyway, so that's its own self-fulfilling prophecy. And then because that's happened, you then backtrack almost, like, and it delays you getting results in what you're doing. Whereas at least if you go full ass and try something, even if it doesn't work, the lessons that you learn by going through that process actually transfer into the next thing. Even if the next thing you do is something completely different from the front end, the process of the ideation, bringing something into this world, putting it out there, sending a message, driving traffic and testing that and seeing if you can get paid for certain things. I think we've discussed that kind of like 8-ball shot as well, where it's actually interesting with that one. Tom Nosky sent an email today. It was like, make an offer people can say no to. And I think that's where we've almost gone too far into the spectrum of everybody, but you have to be in one thing, but you have to cater to everybody, but you have to be so specific, but you have to make sure everybody is happy. And even that whole thing feels counterintuitive. It's like, no, I don't like everybody. I don't need everybody in my sphere. I need my people in my sphere. I need my kind of people. And you only really find that by putting yourself out there and, yes, getting specific on the offer, but that doesn't mean you have to pick one thing forever. The offer, the thing, the whatever that you're creating has to be specific enough so that the person out there can identify themselves to come and take it. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to cut off all these other people just because you've made that one offer that's specific to that people. You could then also make another offer that's specific to that people. I think I talked about this back in like one of my way earlier episodes about when we were doing social media for the marketing agency for like gyms and the wellness industry in Hong Kong. And it's the same thing. It's like gyms, they cater to male and female. They cater to everybody. They cater to different ages, young and old. But you can't create a piece of social media content that's going to talk to all ages of everybody, because then it's just like, health, come. Right? Like your pieces of the breadcrumb over time build up that digital portfolio and that bigger picture of what it is you offer. But when you're breaking it down, the post is knee pain for ex-athletes who are in their 40s and feeling like it's coming back, or like realizing that it's slowing them down. And then the next one is for pregnant ladies who are, struggling with severe or like chronic back pain in their second trimester. That's a post. Doesn't mean you only cater to pregnant women in their second trimester, but it's a piece of that demographic that can identify themselves in that signal. And I think that's where a lot of creators, or I guess when you're building for yourself, there's that weird, it's that weird gray area where it's like, I don't want to go so specific, I don't want to call, but then you can't go so wide because then that calls it nobody. And yeah, I think it's just testing different things and also seeing what people actually react to from you. See what people are actually looking for. All right, that thread disappeared from my head now. I think we've done 20 minutes at the end of the long day, and I don't really want to start another thread. So, we're going to call it quits. Have another sip of tea. I hope you guys are having a good week wherever in the world you are. It'd be awesome if you could comment below, put a flag of where you are. I might start doing that actually as I get towards the end of these episodes, to like comment a specific emoji or something to see who's listening all the way to the end. But yeah, okay, that was much better. Definitely better filming after a shower and just some breathing time. So it looks like Thursdays are back in play. Maybe Tuesdays too. Just slowly. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.